Are you struggling with feelings of shame, guilt, remorse, or embarrassment due to regain after weight loss surgery? Or perhaps you've maintained your weight loss, but you still have feelings of anger towards yourself from your pre-surgery days. If either of these scenarios describe you, then it's high time to forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself is the first and most pivotal step in recovering from obesity and moving forward to achieve long-term success in your post-surgery life. I know, easier said than done, right? You're harder on yourself than anyone. Going down the road to forgiveness was a really tough one for me. My self-loathing got really ugly. In fact, I'm going to share with you something right here, right now, that's still really tough for me to admit. Several years ago, I began to notice mean, negative thoughts popping into my head when I'd encounter someone who was heavy. When I'd realize what I was thinking, I'd give myself a mental whack upside the head and scold myself for allowing such horrid thoughts to enter my brain. I mean, thank goodness no one could read my mind. But why the heck was this happening? After years and years of living in an obese body, I know all too well the gut-wrenching pain of people being rude or judgmental just because of how I looked. Then I realized these thoughts were the result of me holding on to so much anger and resentment towards myself for gaining back weight after surgery. I was lashing out in my mind at anyone who reminded me of myself. It was that moment that I realized I had to forgive myself in order to get back in control. If you haven't forgiven yourself for being heavy, for gaining weight, or for saying horrible, awful things to yourself for behavior like eating the whole box of cookies or missing a week's worth of workouts, then it's time to really, truly forgive yourself for once and for all. What does self-forgiveness really mean? Self-forgiveness means to intentionally let go of negative feelings tied to your past or present weight gain and shifting to positive, loving, supportive attitude towards yourself. You've probably been playing this self-abusive record over and over in your head for quite some time. So understand, you may not fully achieve forgiveness overnight. For many, it's a process. Why forgive yourself? Failure to forgive yourself only adds to your burden. You know how on that show, The Biggest Loser, towards the end of every season, the participants have to run an obstacle course carrying the equivalent of all the weight they've lost that season. That's what you're doing when you fail to forgive yourself. You're punishing yourself by continuing to carry that burden. I don't know about you, but I started my first diet when I was 8 years old, beginning years of yo-yo dieting. So that adds up to a lot of weight regain over the years. Shoot, I'd probably be towing around a small car's worth of weight if I hadn't released my burden by forgiving myself. If that's not enough reason for you, then know this. Studies show that the inability to forgive, especially when it comes to forgiving yourself, is linked to increased incidence of cancer and heart disease. You might be asking, okay, how do I forgive myself? First, take out a sheet of paper and write down why you're angry or resentful with yourself, or why you feel shame. Write your heart out, because getting your feelings out is therapeutic. If you feel comfortable, I encourage you to share these feelings with someone you trust, someone who makes you feel safe, perhaps a friend from weight loss surgery support group, or a friend who really gets your struggle. Second, forgive yourself out loud every day until you really, really feel like you've put the shame, anger, and resentment to rest. Let's practice right now. I want you to say it with me. I forgive myself. Come on, say it. I forgive myself. I choose to look at my past mistakes and struggles in my journey to right-sized living as lessons learned, From this day on, I choose to move forward with courage and self-acceptance. It's my time to thrive. How'd that feel? Third, realize that the past is a done deal. You can't do anything about yesterday, so why expend the energy? You can't change it. Now, this doesn't mean to sweep your past under the rug. Oh, no, no, no. You've earned your stripes in this battle, so carry them proudly. Focus on what you can change, the present, today. Before you go, let me share with you a great quote by Johnny Cash that I think pinpoints the importance of self-forgiveness. You build on failure. You use it as a stepping stone. Close the door on the past. You don't try to forget the mistakes, but you don't dwell on it. You don't let it have any of your energy or any of your time or any of your space. Forgive yourself. You can do this. I believe in you. It's the first and most important step to getting back on track or staying on track in the first place after weight loss surgery. And email me at Shelley@WLSdelight.com to let me know how it goes. Until next time, live with purpose, live with courage, and live with delight.